Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In this episode, we're going to learn two words. The first one is a noun. The second one is a verb phrase. So this noun, right, it looks a lot like this verb phrase, only with the first characters different. This one is 工作. It's a noun. It's 工作.工作. It means work or job. So this three-character verb phrase 做工作, 做工作. First, we're going to write these two words. The first one is 工作. This one is 工. This one is 做. So this 做 is a left and right part character. The left part is called 单人边 or 单人旁. 单人旁. It means maybe those series of characters have something to do with people or person. 单人 single person part. 单人旁. The right part gives the sound of the whole. 做工作 it means job or work. For example, 他的工作是老师. His job is a teacher. His job is a teacher. 他的工作 or career, job, work, right? What he do for a living. 工作工作你是做什么工作的 What do you do for a living? 做什么工作的做 right? 做 means do. Do 做 is a verb. 做什么工作的 So if you say 做什么什么 in Chinese is what? What type of job do you do for a living? 做什么工作 Right? The question mark. 做什么工作的 So if you translate this sentence into English, this 什么 should be put in the front of the sentence. What, right? What type of job or career do you do for a living? 做什么工作的 So you can see here, the second one is 做工作. And here we have 做什么工作 So this one and this one is totally different in terms of meanings. 做什么工作 it means what do you do for a living? Because we have this 什么 between 做 and 工作. But if you only have this 做工作, this verb 做 and this noun job, it's not to say do some type of job or do some work. This one means to persuade someone to do something. This one is a very original Chinese verb phrase. Very original Chinese. 做工作 So how to use this verb phrase? For example, 做 somebody's 工作 You can say 做我的工作 or 做他的工作 His 做他的工作 Right? 做他的工作 So we can add somebody's here. Somebody's 做 somebody's work. It means to persuade somebody to do something. 做他的工作 It means I will persuade him to do something. For example, he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go to school. 他不想去学校，他不想上学。He doesn't want to go to school. 我来做他的工作。 我来做做 or sometimes we say 做做 it's a verb reduplication 做做 to 做 this to 做 putting together 做做 it means I will try to right I'm trying to persuade her I'm not 100% sure but I'll give it a try 做做他的工作 I will give it a try and persuade him to go to school persuade somebody to do something 做做他的工作 right 做工作 or in Chinese we have a saying like 做思想工作做思想工作 so this is something related to it's called CCP's thought control or it is widely used nowadays. It is widely used in all parts of all walks of lives or all fields 做思想工作 originally this 做思想工作it means I don't want to do something but my leader or my comrade who is superior than me he wants me to do that thing, but I don't want to do that thing. So he will persuade me to do that thing. That is to say, try to paraphrase that. He will force me to do something that I don't want to do it because it doesn't do my own good. But in my boss or in my leader's opinion or his or her perspective, he or she, my boss, believes that this work will be good for the whole picture. Although it doesn't do any good for me, it will do something good for the whole picture. The so-called whole picture may be only good for the boss himself or herself. So you know the background of this 做思想工作 it implies that I will force somebody or my employees or something like that to do something they don't want to do, but I want them to do 做思想工作 Originally, it's something like that. So, in the history of the CCP, I give you one example. During the 1930s, when the CCP occupied Yan'an, the city Yan'an in Shanxi province, so a lot of CCP comrades or leaders, they divorce their wives and they marry a new wife, a much younger wife, because they have a relatively comfortable life in Yan, so they want to change a new wife. But some younger wives, they don't want to marry those elder comrades or those leaders, right? Superior leaders. So the organization, the CCP, will do their 思想工作, will 做思想工作, persuade those young girls to marry those elder comrades. Something like that. 做思想工作. Persuade those young girls to marry those CCP leaders. So nowadays, in modern Chinese, we use 做思想工作 or 做工作, 做 somebody's 工作, 做他的工作, 做我的工作, 做你的工作. Generally to mean to persuade someone to do something. But it implies persuade somebody to do something they don't want to do. So implies to force somebody to do something. 做思想工作. It also implies Why you don't want to do it is because you are wrong. Because I am right. That is why I persuade you to do the things you don't want to do. I'm standing at a moral highland. Something like that. 做思想工作. It means I'm superior than you. I know much better than you. You don't want to do it because you know nothing. So this is the meanings implied in this phrase. 做思想工作. 思想 here is thought. Thought. To persuade somebody to change their thoughts. 做思想工作. It's a very original Chinese phrase. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows what it means. 做思想工作. Right? 我要做他的思想工作。我们做他的思想工作。做思想工作. It means to persuade him or her to do something he or she doesn't want to do it. So here, 工作 is only a noun, job, work, career, occupation. 做工作。做什么工作的? What do you do for a living? Right? But 做工作, only 做工作 or 做 somebody's 工作 or 做 somebody's 工作，他的、我的、你的 right? 他的 his or 做思想工作，思想工作 it means to persuade somebody to do something they don't want to do. So this is a brief history of 做工作. It originated from the CCP's history in the 1930s. Right? Alright, I hope you have learned something. I will try to explain some interesting words that are related to our modern history, especially our history of CCP's histories, of their evil histories. So I want you to learn some original Chinese in order to know the language, because the language carries a certain type of culture, right? Alright, I hope you have learned something from this video. See you next time.